.304. Man, look, the comments were divided on this one. I was looking at the comments and they were divided. Some people were like, she's a 304. This is why she'll never get married. I don't think that's true. I think sometimes we go to the extreme. We hope people won't get married because of our values and things of that nature. But I don't know. I'm fairly sure that she's going to get married one day and stuff like that. The comments were divided on this because some people, men and women, were on both sides. Some people thought that this was classless. And some people were like, oh, you guys need to lighten up. You guys need to learn to lighten up. She was just playing and this and that. And I don't know. I guess for me, I'm trying to think because it's also the setting too, right? Maybe you try to think of what scenario that you may have said something similar in. Like maybe if I were to scream out for like a body part of mine, would I do that? You know what I mean? But not everybody is the same. But just because we're different doesn't mean also too that you act in certain ways. We can have different personalities, but still have a level of I don't want to say that, but still have a level of understanding that there's just and not even related to this, just like a level of understanding that certain things that we just don't do for certain reasons. Now, because, you know, obviously she was playing, you know, she's just joking around. There's a lot of people out there. Nobody's really paying attention. If she's there with somebody, they're, you know, it's probably a joke to them. They're like, man, girl, you stupid. You know, that's dumb, blah, 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 whatever. And it's probably, you know, maybe a joke amongst them. But like when you open it up to the internet, it becomes a big deal, you know, and it's because people have different value systems. And maybe some people have, because she's famous. This is, if you don't know her, this is Chloe Bailey. You know, she makes some pretty good music. In my opinion, I think she makes good music. I think she's extremely talented. I think she's super dope. I like watching some of her. I follow her. I like watching some of her when she sits down and she makes beats. If you don't know what beats are, they're instrumentals. Basically music without vocals. And she makes beats. And I love how she does it very quickly. It's almost like on the spot. I know she edits the video and stuff like that to be quick, but I love the thought process, how quickly the mind can work to, you know, come up with a drum pattern and then come up with a sound over the top of it, and to know how to use the instruments to work those sounds. And you know what, Chloe, she be in the blogs because she got it and she be trying to flaunt it. She got it and she be trying to show it. I mean, some people, some people like it. Some people love seeing it. Some people say, oh girl, keep doing what you're doing. You know, you're motivating me, blah, blah, blah. And some people think it's tasteless. They think it's classless. I don't know. Where do you stand? If you asking me my preference, I don't prefer it, you know, but that's also why I probably wouldn't date somebody like Chloe Bailey. She's, to me, I think she's beautiful, but I probably, look, sometimes when you get older, you just got to know what you would and would not put up with. Like, you don't just go after somebody that looks good just because they look good and hope everything works out later. Just don't date them. So that you don't get into this state of mind where you feel like, especially because there's a lot of parasocial relationships that are going on with her. You know what I mean? Like, people feel like they're connected to her. They feel like, she's their bestie and stuff like that. Um, and so on and so forth. Oh, you're my bestie, blah, blah, blah. And she tries to be nice to everybody, but she's living her life too. She can't be beholden to you, but I think you're a role model as well. Sometimes I think I heard Lil Wayne say one time, he was like, I'm not a role model. Yes, you are. You literally are a role model to every single person who looks up to you and says, like, you may not see yourself as a role model, but sometimes the reckless behavior has to stop. And you can't go out here and do stupid stuff and say, oh, I don't know why they did that. They did that because they were watching you, Wayne. That's why. But I mean, some people see what she does as goals. I mean, man, I've seen Chloe on the Shade Room, man. Thong bikini throwing it back. And the comments be so divided. The comments be so divided, man. People be like, she's doing it for attention. Chloe is doing this for attention. She's so immature. I like her music, but when is she going to grow up? And some people be like, ooh, girl, I love that. Work it, because she be on a yacht and stuff like that. They be like, oh, girl, if I had a body like that, I would do that too. And I understand, I respect, the love, to say, if I had a body like that, it would motivate me, and maybe it motivates you to get to get a body like that. I don't know, but I think what we run into a lot of times is there's just fundamental differences in how we think about things and how we look. I think sometimes as you get older and you mature more, obviously because your value systems are different and people see things different ways, they do things like this. Now, like I said, man, some people might look at her and call her a 304 and be like, oh, I would never do this, and that. And they criticize her so much because they wouldn't want to be with somebody who does this. And they also say that too, as a way of, they want to force her to be that. I want you. I would absolutely, if I were standing in front of you, I would absolutely date you. Or if I had a chance, I would absolutely, want to take you on a date. But I just wouldn't want all of this other stuff that came with it. But you got to think about too and say, you know what? If she was standing in front of me, I have to be mature enough to say that if this is something that I don't like, then I'm not going to try to force it and make it work. So it's just like, but I understand that your values are so embedded in you, so deep in you, that you feel like you just have to say something. Some things trigger you so much that you just feel like you have to say something about it. And you have to just go in. I'll tell you, when people go in, they go in. Oh, this is trash, blah, blah, blah. She wants so much. She's so attention seeking, this and that. It's just so immature and blah, blah, blah. I'm not defending her. I don't care either way. I'm just saying people were divided over this here thing, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that she should have said this? Do you think it's just a innocent joke that that some of us uptight folk need to let it go? Maybe we need to change. You know what I mean? Maybe we need to change our mindset. Maybe we're too old to be thinking like this, and or what maybe you came from a time period where this was just uncouth. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Be honest. Don't hold back. Thanks for watching. Once again, like, share, subscribe. And until next time, take it easy.